Are you seeing red? Because it's been a week full of socialism, and with it, a pretty revealing look inside the mind of the far left's most beloved cult figure, Bernie Sanders. Yesterday, while in California pushing the state's proposed billionaires tax, Sanders leaned hard into his familiar message: billionaires are the root of all of your problems.
At a time when the very rich are becoming phenomenally richer, when the very rich have been given a massive tax break by Donald Trump, when millions of people in this state are struggling to be able to afford health care, maybe billionaires should start paying their fair share of taxes.
He's got a new crusade now, claiming billionaires are intentionally putting you out of work.
These are people, billionaires, who have created huge businesses with revolutionary technologies like AI and robotics that are literally transforming the face of the earth and everyone on it, because they know that AI and robotics can throw millions of workers out on the street and make their corporate friends and themselves even richer.
Joining us now, Unleash Prosperity co-founder Steve Moore and the Heritage Foundation chief economist EJ Antoni. Welcome to you both. Gentlemen, Steve, I'll start with you. Bernie Sanders in California fighting for the billionaire tax. Surprisingly, one of his opponents is the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, where you'd think he'd normally be on the same side with this guy. Even he knows this could be a disaster. Steve, do you think that this thing has a shot in California?
You never know about California, frankly. But look, Bernie Sanders is I know Bernie Sanders. He's not a fool. I think what he is really trying to create is he understands that if they have a billionaire tax in California, guess what? California won't have any billionaires. It's that simple. They'll all move out. They've already started moving out. What Bernie Sanders wants, and I think this is where the left is going, is not because states just can't do that. People will leave. They are going to try to have, if they take the White House in 2028, a federal tax on wealth. That's very, very scary, but I think that's where they're going. So you'd have to actually leave the United States to not pay those taxes. By the way, this is a guy who really, what he was declaring is the most Luddite statement I've ever heard. It's like man versus machine. Right. Maybe we should go back to the days when we didn't have tractors for farming and everybody could pick fruit and vegetables again.
Yes, we could use that Jethro Tull to get the seeds in the ground and maybe poke the oxen and get them to do some of that hard work. So, EJ, who has the more foolish policies? New York City with their new commie mayor Zohran Mamdani, or the state of California?
Oh goodness, Kennedy! I mean, that's that's like asking which inmate deserves to run the asylum, I suppose. The answer is they're both absolutely terrible. And look, if you really want to know what people think of these policies, you have to ask, how do they vote with their feet ultimately? And the reality is the places that have implemented these kinds of big government policies, where it's lots of taxation, lots of regulation, lots of government spending, those are the very places that people have been leaving. Actually, Steve and I did a study back in 2021 where we looked at what was at the time New York's latest tax increase, and we predicted you were going to have hundreds of thousands of more people move out of New York City and New York State as a result of that. And so far, we just got the latest Census Bureau estimates a few weeks ago. Our numbers have been pretty darn close. I would say close enough for government work, at least within 1% or 2%. And look, again, the fact of the matter is people do not want to live in places with these policies. That's why they're leaving California, they're leaving Illinois, they're leaving New York. And where are they going? Tennessee, Texas, Florida, even places you might not think like Idaho and Utah. Those are the states where all the jobs are going, and those are the states to which all the people are going.
All right, so just last hour, President Trump took the stage in Georgia, where he highlighted his tariff success, calling out some crooked countries for ripping us off. Listen.
Without tariffs, this country would be in such trouble right now. What a difference it made. And you know who brought the cases against us? People that are China-oriented, people that have business in China that want to rip us off and keep ripping us off and the tariffs had stopped us. And not only China, other countries too. People from other countries like Canada and others, they sue us. Canada has ripped us off for years. Not anymore, they're not.
Gave it to him in women's hockey tonight, huh, Brian?
Steve, I know you're not a huge tariff guy, but what did you think about the president's comments?
Well, I'm glad we beat the Canadians in hockey, that's for sure.
All right.
But listen, I mean, I'm not a tariff guy, Brian, you know that. But I also, you know, in my discussions with Donald Trump, you know, he always says, look, we're going to get better trade deals. And if you look over the last year, Brian, and you look at how he has negotiated better trade deals, so we have a level playing field, I think he's accomplished a lot.
EJ, we have 10 seconds. If there's one thing this president has to push to get through the midterms, what is it?
It's the fact that not only are people getting paid more, their paychecks are going further. Under Biden, it was the opposite. Your paycheck shrunk 4% adjusted for inflation. So far in 1 year under Trump, it's up 2%.
There you
we're
go.
moving in the right direction.
Real wage increases. Steve Moore, EJ Antoni, always good to see you, fellas.